In the last class, we started with a new topic named as electricity. In that topic, we discussed about the electric charge, we discussed about the electric current, we discussed about the electric potential as well as potential difference. So, what is electric charge? What is the formula for the electric charge? That is nothing but Q equal to N into A, and where is the SI unit of the electric charge is coulomb. Electric current I equal to Q by T. Electric potential, that is nothing but V equal to W by Q. Those are things we discussed in the last class as well as some numericals on those things. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the electric circuit and electric circuit diagram. Electric circuit and electric circuit diagram. So what is the electric circuit? What is the electric circuit diagram? We are going to discuss by taking an example. So in your home, you see in your home or your school, you check fans are connected to some wires. In the same manner, if you check the bulbs, bulbs are also connected to some wires which is connected to this switch. So we are going to take those examples from this so to understand what is electric circuit. So if you take the example here, I am going to take an example of the bulb. So the bulb looks like this. There will be a filament which is connected to the two ends like this. One is the end is connected to one wire, another end is connected to another wire like this. Both the wires are going to take into a battery or shell. Battery or shell. So this is the shell which we are going to use to blow this bulb so that one wire is connected here. When you connect this type of wires to the shell, the bulb is going to glow. The bulb is going to glow. What happens if you remove the wire from here? Is it possible that bulb is going to glow here? Is it possible that bulb is going to glow? No, it is not possible. When I touch that wire to the another terminal like this, let this be the positive terminal and this be the negative terminal. When we check that to the negative terminal, again bulb starts to glow. Why it is so? When we connect that wire into the another terminal, why the bulb is starting to glow? Since whatever the electric charge which is present in that bulb, that source, that is nothing but in the shell, is going to flow in the form of the electric current. So if it doesn't connect this thing, the charge is not going to flow since it doesn't have any negative sign. So then for that reason it doesn't going to flow. When we connect these things, because of the negative potential, because of the change in the potential difference, it has different potential, it has different potential. Because of the different potential, the charge starts to flow from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. It starts to flow from the positive terminal to the negative terminal. So it is going to start from here and it is going to flow like this to the filament, again to the this thing, that is nothing but negative terminal. So if it doesn't connect it will become open one. If you connect it is a closed one. So when does the electricity is flowing here? When this thing, the whole thing is closed one. Whole thing is closed one. So whatever the thing which is coming here in this diagram, whatever the diagram is shown about the path of the electric current is nothing but it is the electric circuit. This whole thing is nothing but the electric circuit. If you take the example of the fan also, if you take the switch also there, it's the same manner only. The same manner only. If there is a flow of the electric current, continuous flow of the electric current, and the path is closed one, then we are going to say that it is an electric circuit. It is an electric circuit. So if you take the example of the fan which is connected to wires, it is also an electric circuit. If you take the example of the refrigerator, it is also an electric circuit. If you take the example of the television which is connected to the electric source, it is also an electric circuit. So electric circuit is nothing but it is the continuous and closed path of electric current. It is the continuous and closed path of the electric current. So we are going to say that the continuous and closed path of electric current is electric circuit. Right. Now next, what is electric circuit diagram? What is electric circuit diagram? Is it possible to show everything like that only? This only? Is it possible that every time if you tell that draw electric circuit, is it possible to draw the bulb, It is not possible. So what we are going to do here in the electricity topic, here we are going to use the symbolical representation of those things. We are going to use the symbolical representation of those things, and we are going to connect those things like this only. So that symbolical representation of the electrical components, the symbolical representation of the electrical components of an electric circuit is nothing but electrical circuit diagram. It is nothing but electrical circuit diagram. It is same only. Electric circuit diagram is same only. But what we are using here, we are using the symbolical representation of the bulb. We are using the symbolical representation of the battery. We are using the symbolical representation of the wires. We are using the symbolical representation of the voltmeters, ammeters, and resistors. So we are showing those things of the electric circuit, the components of the electric circuit. We are showing by using the symbols, so that it becomes easier to us. So those things are nothing but what? Those are the electric circuit diagram. Those are the electric circuit diagram. So what is the electric circuit diagram here? Electric circuit diagram. Electric circuit diagram is the electric circuit diagram is the symbolical representation of, it is the symbolical representation of electrical components, symbolical representation of electrical components of an electric circuit, of an electric circuit. So we are going to represent all the electrical components which are coming to in that electric circuit is nothing but it is the electrical circuit diagram. So which are those symbols we are going to represent different type of electrical components? Which are those symbols? So if you take the source of the energy, if you take the source of the energy which is going to give us the electricity is nothing but a shell or a battery, a shell or a battery. So if you take the example of this shell or a battery, these are the source of the potential energy that is going to give us the charge. So how does the shell or battery is going to represent? We already know that shell and battery contains positive terminals and negative terminals. So the positive terminal of the shell is shown like this, and negative terminal of the shell is shown like this. This is the symbolical representation of the cell. So this will become plus and this will be the minus. The longer line is plus and smaller line is the minus. So this is the symbolical representation of the shell. In the same manner, we are going to represent battery as the series connection of the cell. As the series connection of the cell. So the battery looks like this. Battery looks like this. Always remember plus minus are connected to each other. If it is plus, this will be minus. This minus will be connected to this plus. So this is the series connection. We are taking the three cells which are connected in this series so that it will become what? It will become battery. So this is the symbolical representation of the cell, and this is the symbolical representation of the battery. So while drawing the circuit diagram, we are going to take cell as like this, battery like this. We are not going to draw every diagram or every shape of the battery or cell. So just we are going to take this step. Right. Next we are going to see about the how we are going to draw the bulb. So symbolical representation of the bulb is nothing but how it looks like this. This is the symbolical representation of the bulb. Since bulb is a filamentous bulb, for that reason we are going to show like this. This is the symbolical representation of the bulb. In the same manner, the wires are shown like this only. It may be a horizontal line or it may be a perpendicular line, depending on which side we are going to connect those things. We are going to take the lines. So this is the symbolical representation of the wire. Next, what we have? We have voltmeter. We have ammeters. So voltmeter connection shown like this. If it is connected to the positive terminal in this wire, this will be the positive. If it is connected to the negative terminal, this will be the negative. So voltmeter looks like this. In the same manner, this. This will be the plus and this will be the minus. If you remember the points of the voltmeter is always connected in the parallel, whereas the meter is always connected in the series connection. So always remember while drawing the circuit diagrams also, always draw the voltmeter in the parallel to the whatever the given data, as well as the meter is going to be in series only. So this is the about voltmeter and ammeter. Now how does we are going to show about the switch? We are going to show about the switch. Switch on, that is nothing but closed switch. Switch off, that is nothing but open switch. So we have two types of this switch, that is nothing but closed switch and open switch. So closed switch is divided like this, and open switch is divided like this. It is just a round and no dots will be present inside those things. So this is the closed switch and this is the open switch. See, in another way we are going to show the closed switch like this. So this is the 2 points and each points are connected like this. If this is the switch, these are the 2 terminals, and this is the open switch and this is the closed switch. So that circuit diagram is closed one. So the electric current should pass through this. When that thing happens, it is known as closed switch. If it is the open one, it is known as open switch. So this is the closed switch and this is the open switch. So when you have to switch on that button, this thing is going to connect with this point, so that electric current starts to flow. Because of that, electric current starts to flow and become a closed circuit. Because of that, we are going to see the effects of the electric current on all the equipments. So these are some symbolical representation of those things. So we are remaining another few things which are going to be represented as symbols. So what are those? We are going to take the resistance. We are going to take the resistors. We have the rheostat, that is nothing but variable resistance. So resistance or resistors are shown like this. Resistors are shown like this. This is the symbolical representation of the resistors. If you ask what are the resistors, we are going to see the resistors in the next class. There is nothing but we have the Ohm's law, where we are going to discuss about the resistance. What is resistors? We are going to discuss about the factors which are affecting the resistance and how the formulas of the resistance looks like. So in the next class, we have the complete explanation of the resistance as well as resistors. Up to that point, just remember, resistors are nothing but, if you take the example of the bulb, which is also a resistor. If you take the example of the fan, it is also a resistor. If you take the example of the electrical equipment or electrical components which are present in the electric circuit, those are nothing but those are the resistors only. Those are the resistors only. And the same manner, rheostat. Rheostat is nothing but variable resistance. So in the lab, while doing the lab or while doing the practical, we should change the resistance. We should change the resistance so that we are going to get some observations of values, so that we are going to do some experiments regarding the electricity. At that time, we require variations in the resistance. So that variation in the resistance can be done by the using of the equipment known as rheostat. So rheostat is going to give us the variable resistance. So this is the variable resistance. This is the variable resistance, which is present in our lab. You can see why the class started. So it will be easy to understand what is the rheostat. So two types of the rheostat we have. We have a resistance box. In that we are going to take out the some resistance, so that we are going to change the resistance of those things. Or we have a coil which has the wheel. So by rotating that wheel, by making the wheel to move in to and fro motion, we are going to change the resistance of that electric circuit. So we have two types of the rheostat. So how does the symbolical representation of the rheostat looks? The symbolical representation of the rheostat looks like this. This is the first symbolical representation the first symbolical representation of the rheostat. Another symbolical representation of the rheostat is, if you see this diagram, which is the symbolic representation of the rheostat. Only one diagram we have, but we have two types of the rheostat. So next we have the joints. So cross wire. First we have the cross wire. So one wire is passing another wire, but it is not in joint. It is not in the joint. So how it is looks like in the symbolical representation, we are going to give that symbolical representation like this. So there are two wires. Both the wires are not connected, but one wire is crossing another wire. So this wire is not connected to this wire, but this wire is crossing this wire. So like this, we are going to represent the cross wires. In the same manner, we are going to represent the joints of the wires like this. So at this point, two wires are joined. At this point, two wires are joined. So joint wire looks like this. The representation of the joint wire looks like this. So this is the symbolical representation of the electrical components. So now we are going to draw a electric circuit diagram for the example which is given earlier, which I have taken earlier. That is nothing but we are going to take the bulb and which is connected to a shell. So how that can be denoted? So if you take here, we are going to connect that thing to the battery. So that this is the electric source, and this will be the plus and minus, or this is the cell. Now which is connected to a switch. This is connected to a switch, and which is connected to the bulb. Which is connected to the bulb. We are going to take the bulb here. Like this, this is the symbolical representation of the electric circuit. So if the switch is closed one, we are going to put the dot here. If the switch is open one, we should not put the dot inside it. So this is the closed circuit diagram. Now if you take the example of the ammeter as well as voltmeter, we have to put the ammeter and voltmeter. We are going to put the ammeter in the series connection. So wherever we want, we are going to put the ammeter there. So this will be the plus and this will be the minus. And if you remember, where we are going to put the voltmeter should be the parallel. Where should it keep? It should be kept on the resistance. So if we take the bulb here, the voltmeter will be connected like this across this resistor. So this will be the minus and this will be the plus. So this is the simple diagram of the electric circuit diagram for the connection of the bulb with the battery along with ammeter as well as voltmeter across the switch. So this is the general diagram. Now if you remove the bulb, if you take the resistor there, you can take the bulb like this. You can show the bulb like this also. You can see if you take the fan as a circuit component, electrical component here, you can show that fan like this. If you have the refrigerator, you can show the refrigerator like this only. So this is the generalized diagram of the electric circuit. That is nothing but electric circuit diagram. This is all about electric circuit as well as electric circuit diagram. So remember this symbolical representation shows that while solving the numerical circuit, use this circuit diagrams to purpose of easy calculations. Right. Now next we are going to say about the Ohm's law. To discuss about the Ohm's law, we have a circuit connection like this. The apparatus of the Ohm's law looks like this. So we have a battery, source of the battery which is going to give the electricity. We have a meter connected in series connection. We have a switch here, and that switch we have a resistor here. That is constant. That is the resistor which we have constant value. And across that resistor we connected a voltmeter in parallel connection. So this is the rheostat. This is the rheostat which we are not going to change anything here. Just keeping that only like this. So we are going to check about the Ohm's law. What does the Ohm's law state here? For that reason, we are going to change the voltage at each condition, and we are going to take the reading of the ampere. That is nothing but reading in the ammeter. What is the current going through this connection? We have to check. By doing this experiment, we are going to know about the Ohm's law. What does the Ohm's law state? So for that reason, we are going to take different values of the voltage. We are going to take different values of the voltage. For example, if we take the value of voltage, that is nothing but potential difference. For different values of the voltage, we are going to check check the different values of the electric current, that is nothing but I. Electric current, that is nothing but I, which is present in the milliamperes. Since the amount of current going to produce in the lamps is very very small, for that reason we are going to take an ammeter which is going to show the readings in the milliamps. Which is going to show the readings in milliamps, that is nothing but milliamperes. So if you take the voltage here at this point, if you supply the voltage as 1 volt, as 1 volt, right? If you take that voltage as 1 volt, if you check the reading in the voltmeter, the voltage will be equal to how much? It will be equal to 1 volt. In the same way, if you check the reading in the ammeter, it is going to show 100 milliamperes. It is going to show 100 milliamperes. So when we supply 1 volt of electric current or 1 volt of electric potential, then the amount of the current flowing through this circuit is equal to 100 milliamperes. In the same manner, if I change the amount of potential which we are going to this electric circuit, which is we are going to give this to this electric circuit to 1.5 volts, to 1.5 volts. Again, the amount of current is increased. When you check in the ammeter, the amount of current is increased. So the amount of current becomes 150 milliamps. It becomes 150 milliamperes. In the same way, if you go on increasing the voltage to 2 volts, again the amount of current increased to 200 milliamperes. Remember, here we are not changing the resistance, we are not changing the rheostat, also we are not rotating the rheostat, as well as we are not changing this resistance. What we are changing here, we are just changing the voltage here. We are just increasing the voltage. In the same way, if you increase that voltage to 3 volts, again the amount of electric current which is flowing through that circuit becomes 300 milliamperes. 300 milliamperes. This experiment is done by the Ohms. Because of that reason, this is known as Ohm's law apparatus. So when we check the observations here, for 1 volt 100 milliamperes current at constant resistance. For 1.5 volts current becomes 150 milliamperes. For 2 volts it becomes 200 milliamperes. For 3 volts it becomes 300 milliamperes. So if you check here, we are increasing the voltage. That is nothing but potential difference. As we increase the potential difference, there is the increase in the electric current also. So this increment according to the voltage is nothing but it is the Ohm's law. That is nothing but Ohm's law states that at constant temperature, electric potential difference is directly proportional to the electric current. It is directly proportional to the electric current. That is nothing but electric current is directly proportional to the potential difference. As potential difference increases, electric current is also increases. As potential difference decreases, electric current is also going to decrease. So then, Ohm's law states that this is the statement. By this experiment, by this observation, we came to know that a Ohm's law, that is nothing but as this increases, that is nothing but voltage increases, the electric current is also going to increase. So by Ohm's law, that is nothing but Ohm's law states that at constant temperature, the electric current is directly proportional to the potential difference. It is directly proportional to the potential difference. Potential difference supplied. Whatever the potential difference we are going to supply, according to that, the electric current is changing. So that is directly proportional. So how are we going to do the proportionality? How are we going to write proportional to I. At what? At constant temperature. At constant temperature. Why we are taking the constant temperature here? About that I am going to discuss while discussing about the resistance. So if you know the resistance, then you are going to know about the fact of the temperature, what is going to have the effect on the resistance. If you know the effect of the resistance, then we are going to directly know about the effect of those resistance on the electric current. So then by discussing those things, I am going to discuss these things. Right? So V is directly proportional to what? I. That is nothing but constant temperature. What does it mean? If V increases, I also increases. If V decreases, electric current is also going to decrease. Like this, it is directly proportional to those things. Increment increases the electric current, decrement in the voltage decreases the electric current. Like this we are going to say. So in the same manner, to remove the proportionality sign, we are going to take a constant here. So that is nothing but V is equal to I into R. V is equal to I into R. So where R is the proportionality constant. R is the proportionality constant. R is the proportionality constant. So about that we are going to discuss in the next class. V is equal to I into R. So this is about the Ohm's law. This is the mathematical form of the Ohm's law. Nothing but V equal to I into R, where R is the constant, which is the proportionality constant. So if we take this example also, here we are keeping the R constant, we are not taking the R only. For that reason R constant. If we take the R constant here, it will become V is directly proportional to the R. As voltage increases, current is also going to increase. So this is about the Ohm's law. We are going to discuss about the VI graph in the next class, as well as we are going to discuss about the resistance in the next class. Up to that point, thank you, take care.